Hi, welcome to practice. Today we're going to be exploring the endocrine system. The endocrine system is a communication system which is built up of your glands. So you have the major communication hubs. We have the coccygeal body, which is at the base of the tailbone, which actually is seen as a redundant body. It's something that's we've just retained evolutionarily, if that's a word. But we're going to play with it today. We've got the ovaries and also the testes, so the gonads essentially. But if you're male-bodied, we're going to play with the remembrance of the ovaries because all fetuses are female to begin with. So we're going to play with that, but if you prefer, then you can also work with the testes. We also have, the endocrine system also includes the pancreas, but we're going to work with the adrenals, which they're like little cones, which sit on the top of the kidneys. And kidneys are right just at the bottom back of the ribs. And then you have some glandular bodies or neuropeptides in your heart. So we're going to work there. You've got your thyroid and then the pituitary gland. So if you just do that with the roof of your mouth, up through the upper palate is the pituitary, right in the middle of the brain, and that links to the hypothalamus, and then the pineal gland, which is kind of up and back, sort of in line with your ear in the middle of your brain. And what these orbs of information do is they send the messenger molecules all the way through your blood and into interstitial fluid to release hormones so that you can regulate your responses. They're responsible for our emotions, for our behavior. They're so super important. And oftentimes we're not in contact with our endocrine system most of the time. And if we're not clear and we're not listening and we're not paying attention and if we're not in communication with our body, then we don't always hear or notice the signals and the messages that they're trying to send to us. A great example is if you're female-bodied and you're on your cycle and you're just kind of pushing through and not really realizing that maybe it's, your moon's due and you need to just rest and actually, your hormone balance is changing. So you can think about the endocrine system as like your inner pharmacy that's administering hormones to let you know what you need in each moment. It's the energy of balance, it's the energy of regulation, and they are our teachers in this way. They teach us balance, they teach us how to regulate, they teach us how to listen. They are the energy of communication. They're in this incredible network, constantly working in support of you and on your behalf. And so the intention today is really to attune to that energy of communication, to make contact with this aspect of you that is in full support of you, and so that we can listen, attune, and be able to work with the system instead of against it. So you'll have a link to the playlist. So we're going to press play, I'll let you know, and then you'll come to lie on your back. So press play, 3, 2, 1, now. And come to lie on your back. We're going to use sound. We're going to use our voice to start to make contact with these. I like to think of them as glowing orbs of aliveness, of energy, of information. And we're going to use the bija mantra for Saraswati, which is the energy of flow. And so we're going to awaken this sense of attunement, fluidity, recognizing the creative intelligence of this system, calling upon and honoring the energy of flow. So as you settle down into your back body, just become aware of the space above your front body. Sense into the space, making contact with the front of your skin, with your front body, your face and your knees and the tops of your feet, your soft belly. Sensing into the texture and temperature of air. The space gently enfolds around you. And allow your front body to drop down into your middle body. And your middle body into your back body. And your back body surrenders and spreads into the earth beneath. Just giving yourself a moment to land here. The skin on your face, rest back into the back of your skull. And give yourself time, there's no rush. We're not trying to get anywhere. Just giving yourself time to fully land in your body on the earth. And just taking a moment to sense into the flow of experience. And I invite you to bring your feet flat to the floor with your knees bent as you start to send your breath all the way down to the very tip of your tailbone. Allowing awareness to travel down on the stream of the breath. And you might find that the tailbone responds with some movement, and it's the very tip just in front of the tailbone where you'll find these little tiny orbs, orbules of the coccygeal body. And just send your breath and your awareness there to begin with. Allowing movement to come through if that's the way that your body responds. The seed sound for Saraswati is Aim, A-I-M. And so you'll begin breathing deeply into the space just in front of your tailbone and sending the vibration down there. And keep going, and you might notice that as opposed to an M, I'm using an NG sound at the end for Anuswara. Three more, sending your breath all the way down into this magical little collection of orbules. And you can imagine that they're lighting up and illuminating into a pearly white light as you send your energy, electrify and awaken this part of you. One more time. And allow the tailbone, the space before the tailbone, to continue to move and circle and circulate as it awakens, comes online, but start to draw your attention, a second point of attention, into your ovaries, or the space where your ovaries were. And you can bring your hands to that place if that helps. And while your tailbone snakes and circulates, you can breathe into your ovaries, or the space where your ovaries were before they descended and transformed as you became male-bodied. Breathe there, send your awareness there. Attuning into the intelligence, the creative possibilities. Offering the intention of balance, saying, yes, I wish to communicate with the whole of my body to better know my hormones and this chemical medicine apothecary that lives inside of you. And when you're ready, you can start to sound I'm into these bright, intelligent orbs. Breathing into them and then sending the vibration there. You might find that the movement starts to shift from tail into ovaries as you initiate some movement from there. Keep sounding 2 more times. I dropping your mind down into the intelligence of the endocrine system, into these glands. And as the waves and circles undulate through the low body between tailbone and ovaries, you can bring the backs of your hands to the bottom back ribs where your kidneys are. Allow the movement to continue in the low body as you breathe into the space of the kidneys, visualizing these cones on top of the kidneys as you start to breathe into the adrenals. These regulators of stress, releasing cortisol and adrenaline and working in conjunction with all the other information centers of the endocrine system to help you find balance, creativity, ease. You're awakening these energies as you breathe into the adrenals, sending them your attention, your presence, your breath. And when you're ready, you can start to sound into them. Awakening, flow, freedom. Clearing the pathways for communication so that your inner pharmacy can more easily administer what it is that you need. Breathe there, sound there. And you might find that this starts to move into a flowing bridge as you connect the coccygeal to the ovaries, to the adrenals. Initiating movement from the base into the ovaries as if you were pouring through the pathways of those messenger molecules, these tiny molecules that are carrying the hormones through your body, sending messages so that you can respond. Working in support to bring you into balance, keep sounding into the adrenals. Just taking your time to make contact, to start to wire and weave together your awareness through this system. Two more big full breaths all the way into those little hats on top of the kidneys. And then just have a moment, allow your arms to free up and just take a few moments just to wriggle and circle and just let your body express and integrate the connection from coccygeal to ovarian to adrenal. Softening your face and your mind and your brain. And just allowing your body to communicate with you through movement. And just sensing into the quality and the way in which your body is moving. And trusting in how it's moving, how it's responding to this practice, to these vibrations. And as you start to breathe into your heart, you have some options. You can take this into more of a flowing bridge, or you might choose to come into a shoulder stand. And if you do, you'll take the bridge first and bring your hands underneath your low back and walk your hands onto the kidney space, allowing your legs to be heavy and soft and let them float in the space. And your breath will be a little constricted and the sound will be different, but you'll breathe into your heart, into these neuropeptides, these neural cells that carry all this information and sound. I'm here. Keep going, and you might find that your lower body is just moving and your legs might be swimming inside the energy that you've awakened. Two more, and the energy and vibration is traveling through the thalamus and into the heart. And there may well just be movement that's happening of its own free will through the low body. And you might find another way to be in these centers through movement. And as you're ready, very slowly start to roll down your spine if you're in shoulder stand. We're going to meet in seated. Keep breathing into coccygeal, ovarian, adrenal, heart as you find yourself in a seat. Allow any movements to emerge as you find yourself in this new orientation. This is a practice of inquiry, of curiosity, of trust. We're deepening the connection to communication, to inner communication, and expanding your capacity to sense inside, to listen and respond from a place of truth, as opposed to an idea about what you should say or do or how you should move. It's a gentle allowing, trusting. And as your body moves, gently ripples through this pathway, coccygeal, ovarian, adrenal, into the heart, you might find that there's waves and undulations. You might sense into a spiralic, helix-like pattern. But allow the energy to start to travel up into the upper palate as you begin to sound I'm, to awaken into these magical glands, the pituitary, the pituitary, the hypothalamus, and the pineal. So as you sound, send the sound up the upper palate to the middle of the brain, back and round in like a microcosmic orbit. And you can imagine a white light as you do. So as your body moves through the pathway, sound into the upper glands. Using the NG at the end to really send the vibration up and back and round. And don't worry about doing it right. Just see what happens, see where the energy takes you. You might find that the energy, the vibration, the light might want to go into the full circuit, might go up and back into the tailbone and all the way up through the pathway of the glands. Explore, sound, breathe, move. Two more. Swim inside the atmosphere that you've cultivated. And extend your left leg out to the side so you're in a kind of Janu Shasana. Send your awareness into the coccygeal body and breathe up into ovaries, adrenals, heart. Lengthen all the way through the upper glands. And as you exhale, turn over to your right side. Bring your left hand outside your right knee. Inhale into coccygeal, ovarian, adrenal, heart. And as you exhale, gently swing through center and the energy travels all the way back down to the base. Twisting over to the second side, breathe all the way down into coccygeal. The energy travels up through the ovaries. Breathe into the adrenals for that support in the back body. And the heart lifts. And you lengthen from the hypothalamus out of the crown. And just explore from side to side as you start to map and trace this spiralic pattern. And don't worry too much about when you inhale and exhale. Just as you breathe, breathe up and down the network that you've awakened. And bring your left hand outside your left calf. Open up to the sky as you sweep your right arm up and over and anchor down through the coccygeal body. Breathe into the support of the adrenals. Expand through the heart and lengthen from the pituitary, hypothalamus, all the way out to the space above your crown. Take a moment to breathe here. Perhaps you're still, perhaps you're moving. Keep softening into the energy that you're cultivating by contacting the mind of these curious, mysterious, intelligent orbs of medicine. Extend your right leg out so you're in a Upavista Konasana shape, just wide-legged. Take a moment to swim between sides. And when you're ready, you'll come to the second side as you draw your left heel towards your groin. Take an inhale, reach your arms high as you breathe down through the pathway. Twisting to one side. Exhale through center as you inhale all the way to the second side, lighting up the orbs with your breath and your awareness as you move. And bring your right hand outside your right knee as you take the side bend and spin your heart to the sky. Breathe into the support behind you. And lengthen all the way from coccygeal to hypothalamus to crown. And this time place your left hand to the left side and sweep up into a baby wild thing. And you can move between breathing into the pathway and lighting the pathway up using visualization and breath. You can always bring the mantra in, or you might just find that you're in the stream. You're just in the energy of it, and allow your body to respond and express and articulate as if you were telling the story of your inner experience through your movement. And whenever you're ready, you can just take it through to the second side. Legs wide, right heel comes to groin, rolling onto the right shin and right knees. You have that baby wild thing. And then just have some time to yourself to explore, see where your body takes you. Don't feel bound by the shapes that I've given you. You're in communication now with the energy of communication. So let these messengers teach you how to listen and respond to where your body wants to take you, not where you want to take your body or where your mind thinks your body should be going. There's no wrong way. It's just an exploration. And it's a practice of love. For this wild intelligence that built you, that breathes you, that regulates you. And your endocrine system is like your nervous system. They're both sending and receiving messages on your behalf, traveling through the universe of your body, traveling great distances to carry important messages so that you can experience yourself. Grow and expand. And come to know yourself more fully through this conversation. And take your time, and there's no rush, but we'll meet in a Malasana squat. And it can be anywhere. The top of your mat's great, but that's not important. Just wherever you find yourself in Malasana, and just allow any movement to continue, or you might choose to just be still and breathe through the pathway. So you can continue to use the breath and the visualization to light that up in your experience. And it's like awareness bounces from one orb to the other, coccygeal, ovarian, moves back to the adrenals, and then leans forwards to the heart, travels up into the brain. Turn your toes straight front, Uttanasana, exhale, fold. Bring your hands to your shins, soften your knees, inhale, lengthen into Ardha Uttanasana and stay on the exhale. Stay in this shape as you breathe all the way into the coccyx and let the coccygeal body reach and spread into the space behind. Support the ovaries and then feel the support of the adrenals as you breathe and inflate and illuminate the back body. And then the energy travels into the heart as your heart starts to reach and open into the space in front of you. And then lengthen all the way from the upper palate through the middle of your brain until you really find the fullness of the extension in Ardha Uttanasana. So you're aligning from the inside. Keep all of that connection as you exhale and fold and empty everything out. And this time as you inhale, half lift, lead from the middle of the brain. Let the breath and the energy travel through the heart into the kidneys, ovaries, and out through the coccyx. And as you exhale, the energy, the light travels back through the pathway and out through the crown as you fold and empty. And inhale from the middle of the brain to lift through the heart, into the adrenals, through the ovaries, out through the coccyx. And as you exhale, breath, awareness, light, energy travels through the pathway and out the crown of your head. Keep going and just follow that simple pathway. Let your awareness be a guide, so don't try and mentally map it too closely. Don't try and grab and pinch and grasp at the glands. Trust that your awareness and your breath have already created that relationship, carved that groove, that pathway. The next time you inhale, come to rise, press into the earth. And you might roll, actually. Rolling might be a nice way to just work through the pathway. And take just a few moments in Tadasana to either be still or to see what movement ripples through you. You're initiating from the connectivity of this communication system. So the pathway that you've so carefully and lovingly illuminated, that's what's moving you. And you don't have to hold it too tightly. You can trust that that pathway is awake, alive, online. Inhale, sweep your hands high. Bring your hands to a prayer and then allow your prayer hands to rest at your third eye as you anoint and honor the intelligence of these pituitary, hypothalamus, pineal. And then bring the thumbs to the throat as you honor the thymus, the thyroid. Bring your thumbs to your heart as you anoint the heart. And then let your hands find the kidneys, the adrenals, gently touch them, bless them. Bless the ovaries. And bring your hands to the space where the coccygeal body is. And just do another round, anointing, blessing, honoring this intelligence, this network of support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amplify the connection of your feet to the earth and let your feet spread into the earth. Soften your knees, just bending them a little so that there's mobility through your hips. Find some movement from the coccygeal body that's going to send waves and undulations through the pathway. And then sweep your arms high, breathe all the way up through the pathway. And exhale, turn to your left, just a gentle twist. You can soften your knees as the energy rides from coccyx out through hypothalamus, out through the crown. Inhale to center, and exhale to the second side. And this is a suggestion. You might be finding yourself in a different pattern of movement, which is perfect. Spread your feet, sweep your hands high. Exhale, deeply bow. Empty all the way out, bring your hands to your shins, and from the middle of your brain, lengthen Ardha Uttanasana. Softly place your hands and exhale, slowly glide into downward facing dog. From the middle of your brain, wave forwards, sending the energy through the pathway, using the support of the adrenals to carry the back body. And as you exhale, reach the coccygeal body back into down dog, soften through the ovaries, the adrenals, the heart. Keep going, leading from the middle of the brain. And then gliding back to down dog from that space just in front of the tailbone. The next time you come forward, let the exhale lower your knees towards a child's pose. Inhale, round through a cat shape. Exhale, lower your chest to the earth. And inhale, baby cobra. Exhale back towards child's, tuck the toes, lift the knees, down dog. Inhale from the middle of the brain to plank. Connect through the whole pathway. Exhale, lower your knees, coccygeal body reaches back to child's. Inhale, middle of the brain, cat shape. Support through the back body, the adrenals. Exhale, lower the heart. Inhale, baby cobra. Just take a few waves, and you might find yourself in a different pattern. Perhaps you just stay in a pulse between cat-cow and child's. It doesn't matter what the pattern, the sequence is. That's just a suggestion. You're exploring the energy of the endocrine system, the pathways that you've lit up. Deepening your relationship to balance, to creativity. And the more that you drop into this experience of flow, the more serotonin and dopamine and anandamide is going to be released from your hypothalamus, your pituitary, your pineal. Happy hormones. And if it evolves out of this linear wave-like sequence into something else, great. Let yourself be guided by your inner messaging system. Your body knows how to bring you into balance. Your body knows what it needs. We're just learning to listen and trust. And don't worry if you drop out. Just soften your face and drop your mind into the pathway. You can always use sound. You can visualize light streaming through this network inside the universe that is your body. This phosphorescent atmosphere, like photons, stars, streaming from one bright orb to the next as they busy themselves in their delivery system. Meeting down dog, so find your way there. And breathe into your right ovary as you extend your right leg from your right ovary into the space behind you. Slowly step your right foot between your hands. Warrior 2. Take a moment to land. Soften the knees so that the pathways are clear and open. And you can bring your hands to your ovaries. You might find that your body is just gently rocking and undulating. Just allow. And then imagine the weight of the ovaries just dropping down and getting heavier and traveling through your legs and into your feet. Allow the space in front of the tailbone to soften and widen your pelvic floor so everything is just drawing down to the earth. And bring your hands to your kidneys and breathe there into that support. Receive the touch. And perhaps some undulation and movement emerges there. And then let awareness, so that's your attention, your energy, travel into the heart bodies. So there's more space now across the chest. And then lengthen and reach all the way up through the upper palate. And you can do all of that with movement or with stillness, but you're finding your way from the inside. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, Pajvakonasana. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Really root down from ovaries to feet. You'll feel strong and grounded now. And from that place, you can open, lean into the support behind, open into the support in front. So in every direction, you're held. And then you can grow into that. Grow into the fullness of the shape of yourself. Reverse. Sweep your right arm up and back. Gently touch the back leg with your left hand. Trikonasana, straighten your front leg. The energy travels down from ovaries to feet to earth. Bring your right hand to your right shin. Press your shin into your hand, so keep your knees soft. And then let the energy travel all the way up through the pathway and out through the crown. You can turn your head to the floor or the sky. You can be still. You might find there's movement. But you're really just sensing into this inner alignment, finding this natural balance now. Spin off the ball of your back foot and slowly bring your left hand to the earth. Low twisted lunge, easy twist, right arm to the sky. And bring some soft movement here. You can lower your back knee if you need to. Softly touch the earth with both hands, downward facing down. And just take a few moments to wave from the middle of the brain all the way through the pathway and then glide back from coccygeal. Soften your face. Keep melting your brain into the medicinal stream of hormonal balance. And then from your left ovary, sweep your left leg into the space slowly behind you. So you're tracing the path from left ovary all the way through the ball of the left foot. It's a clear line of energy, and then step the left foot between your hands. Warrior 2 feet, ground the back foot, windmill your arms up. And you can let them be soft as you let your attention anchor into tailbone, ovaries. So everything starts to move down from that place. Breathing into the support of the back body, of the adrenals. And then letting that open up the chest and the heart. And from the heart, you can reach through the hands, lengthen through the middle of the brain. Find that natural balance and inner alignment, so it's not coming from your muscles and bones so much as the awareness of this inner pathway. Reverse, left arm reaches up and back. Pajvakonasana, left forearm to thigh. And see if you can just find the alignment yourself here, from right ovary to the outside edge of your right foot, through the heart to the brain. It can be still, it can be fluid. Reverse. Trikonasana, straighten the front leg. Every time your breath travels through the pathway, you make contact. You can imagine those orbs getting brighter. Clearing the pathways for life to move more freely through you. Spin off the ball of your back foot, right hand to the earth, left hand to the sky. Reach out from the right ovary through the right heel, from the pituitary through the middle of the brain. Downward facing dog. Wave forwards from the middle of the brain and exhale back. Coccygeal body, ovaries, adrenals, heart. Take a couple more. You're going to take this second side, the same sequence, on your own. I'll give you a little guidance, but you'll speed it up and just start to swim inside the energy now. The mind, the intelligence, the texture, the waters that you've dived into. From right ovary, it's the right leg that lifts. And it's a warrior two to begin with. You can stay in the shapes as long as you wish. You can add on, you can take away. It turns to a reverse, into a Pajvakonasana. And trust that the pathway is there, so you're now just diving into the experience. It's reverse, the Trikonasana. And you can add on at any point. So you might want to add on a half moon here. Or you might simply go into the low twisted lunge. You might go from half moon to low twisted. Play. Trust. Give yourself time to wave and explore and dance between sides. Trust that you're there, that you're in communion with this aspect of yourself, with this energy of communication. It's left ovary to left leg to warrior two. The reverse goes to Pajvakonasana. And if you really enjoy the natural alignment and the pathway, you can stay there. If you're swimming and you're away, let it flow from one to the next, as if those messengers were guiding your movements from one shape to the next. And you might add on a half moon. You might go straight into low twisted. And you can take that sequence again and use that as your container. You can take the sequence into something completely different, or you might just find yourself in free movement. And free movement really is just dropping in. You've done all this work to awaken this system, the intelligence of it, the energy of it, the texture of it. And free movement is really just allowing the expression of that to river through your whole body. And as you drop more and more out of your head and into that practice of surrender, allowing your body to unexpectedly take you in whatever direction it wants to go, you can access this big wash and waterfall of hormones that will rush through your system as you move into a creative dimension of self. As you allow the swirling, streaming, spiraling of life to have you, as you trust it and the direction that it's taking you. And as you give yourself more and more to that, the movements can get bigger, the expression can have more freedom, the pathways get wider. The frontal cortex is less dominant as you open up the more creative realms of your brain, of your being, and you say, yes, I say yes to this. I say yes to this body, this intelligence, to this expression, to the creative possibilities that are available to me when I trust and I let go. You can always stay in the sequence or in asana if that's where your body is guiding you. But listen to the little matrikas, the little mothers, the little teachers of the messenger molecules, the intelligence of communication, your inner guidance, washing through your blood, your interstitial fluid, carrying these little hormones to where they need to go. Helping you to experience more ease, more joy, more freedom. And you can start to perhaps bring this to a pause or a sway. And just see how your body moves when you slightly adjust the conditions like that. You might notice where maybe you're holding or resisting, where there's some tension, and see if you can open the pathways there. Just soften into yourself just a little bit more. If you're standing, make your way into a malasana squat. If you're seated, make your way into Baddha Konasana. And we're just changing the shapes. Like you might find that you pop up into your head when we go into shapes. And I'll give you, if I give you a Sanskrit word that doesn't make sense, don't let your mind worry about that. I'll guide you there. You just stay in your experience, in the movement, in the mind of the glands. Which is to say, like its qualities, the way it likes to move through you. It's its language that you're getting to know, so you can become more fluent in the languages of the self. Just allowing the flow of experience to move through you. You can bring the soles of your feet together, so that's Baddha Konasana. And bring your hands behind you and just undulate. Enjoying the opening across the chest. Clearing out anything that is damming or limiting the flow, and then sweep your left arm up and over to the side. And go from one side to the other, rocking from one side to the other. And then swing your left leg behind you so you're in a deer shape, or like a swastika legs. Remembering, of course, that that symbol is an ancient Indian symbol. You can see it here also in Bali. And you're just swimming. You're just swimming inside yourself. And turn over to the right side, so bring your left hand to meet your right. So you're now twisting through the spiral. Sensing into the pathway. Elongating and opening and inflating in the parts where you need to along the way. And then sweep. You can make a big rainbow arc with your left hand as you roll onto the flats of both feet, and then drop both knees over to the left as you come over to the second side. And again, it's always just a suggestion. If you find yourself flowing into another kind of shape, another kind of pattern, that's great. We're not here to create more structures and conditions and rules. In this practice, we're here to explore open doorways into freedom and expression, into acceptance and softness. It's a place of no judgment, where you just get to explore yourself. And you can move maybe back to the first side. And then you can bring both hands behind you and just windscreen wipe at the knees from one side to the other. You might want to get into your shoulders a little bit, creating space for the back of your heart to expand. And then just bring yourself into a wide-legged, seated fold. Bring your hands in front of you. And you might be still, you might be moving. And you can just sense into the landscape that's moving inside of you. What do you notice? And then bring yourself just into a meditation seat. And simply sense into the immediate felt experience of being. And just allowing the whole organism of you to be just as it is. So allowing mind to do what mind does in its thinking and discerning and analyzing on your behalf. Allowing the life outside you to move and shift, to sound and swirl. Allowing all of the love languages of your different systems and cells as they pulsate and vibrate. All the neurons and peptides and carriers of messages. Busily traveling through the universe of your body. And sense into the dynamism of your inner world. And rest your awareness on your breath. As your lungs generously breathe you. And as you allow the flow of experience to move through you, and as you rest your awareness on the breath, You might notice the quiet, the stillness, and the silence that is also there. And you can choose to stay swimming inside your moment-to-moment experience, sensing into the immediate presence of your own being. Or you might choose to lie down into Shavasana and rest into yourself there. Take a moment to notice how everything that you're experiencing is spontaneously arising from nowhere, from nothing, from the potential space, moment to moment. Letting go of the known creates space for all the creative possibilities to be tasted, realized, available for. Trusting in your experience as it comes, as it arises. As you refine your ability to listen and sense and feel through the instrument of this body-mind. This mysterious vessel that carries you. Deepen your breath and imagine your breath was sending light through your whole body. Water falling, cascading through and blessing each cell with your attention, your desire to know yourself, the possibility to be more full, more human. More luminous. And as you're ready, let that light, that energy, that luminosity bring life into fingers and toes. If you're lying down, find your way to one side. Keep your eyes closed so that you stay connected to your senses beyond sight. Navigating through space to orient back to seated. And if you're in seated, just deepening your breath and maybe finding some rocking or gentle swaying movements as you meet the space, front, back and sides. Very slowly start to scoop the space with your hands as if you were gathering all of the intelligence, honoring the information which is inside the space. And then bringing your prayer hands to the crown of your head and anointing the crown. And then bringing the thumbs to the third eye, anointing the intelligence at the center of the brain. Thumbs to the throat. And each one a droplet of gratitude placed in each gland. Let your hands part as you bring your soft palms to your kidneys, to your adrenals, and bless and offer thanks for their support to your ovaries, or the space where your ovaries were, to the space of the coccygeal body. Bring your hands to your hands. May we honor our body's ability to find natural balance, and may we work with that energy by attuning our inner ear, by deepening our devotion to awakening on all levels of our being. I deeply bow to you.